Hey gang, what's going on? I'm Patrick Kelly for Star 102.5. You know, they've been making beer in America, well, as long as there's been an America. And April is beer month in North Carolina. And with North Carolina's history, it should come as no surprise that they make a lot of beer in North Carolina. In fact, there are more than 250 breweries in North Carolina, and we are at one of those such breweries today, the Southern Pines Brewing Company. Founded in 2014 by a handful of Green Berets who decided to lay aside their weapons of war and make beer in North Carolina. We decided, for this video that we would give you a different perspective of North Carolina beer. So we are here in the laboratory of the Southern Pines Brewing Company, and I'm here with MICAH. And if you could, tell me a little bit about the actual process of making this beer.
Sure. We try to source things from all over the world to make the styles of beer we do. We start about 9 months out on a lot of our designs, but when it comes up to it, we usually order raw materials a couple weeks before we brew. They show up here, and up here on the brew house is where we make up that work. It takes about 5 to 6 hours to make one batch of beer, and we do about 30 kegs in one batch. That beer gets brewed and ends up in our fermenters right over here, where it sits and ferments out for about 2 weeks, depending on the beer, and everybody gets to enjoy it after that.
So we saw how the beer was made. Now we want to talk more about the beer itself. So we're out here in the Southern Pines Brewing Company tasting room with Jason, who's going to tell me more about the flagship beers that put you guys on the map. Why don't you talk a little bit about some of your beer?
Absolutely. So we have 5 flagship beers, and we also have a seasonal beer that we do year-round. And we try as best as possible to also have a 16-ounce limited beer once per month. Starting with our flagship beers, we have Duck Hook Cream Ale, which is 4.3% ABV. It's a very light, crisp, refreshing beer. Followed by Man of Law, 6.4% ABV. It's an American IPA. It's a very well-balanced IPA. Malty by Nature is our Scottish export with a very crisp, malty backbone to it. Followed by More IPA, which is one of our hoppier offerings, 7.5% ABV. And then we have Texas Rig, which is our Imperial IPA at 8.5% ABV, very juicy beer. And then with our seasonal, currently we have our Grapefruit Hefeweizen with German malt, German water profile. And then today we just actually released Espresso Yourself, which is an 8.3% espresso style.
Now, of course, we saw the laboratory, but out here in the tasting room, I guess we could technically call this the R&D section of Southern Pines Brewing Company. This is where you guys do your research and development. This is where you decide what beers go into production, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Who better to tell us than our local consumer base, who is also our biggest supporters. And so we'll go from the small system, our R&D section, and if the consumers tell us that, can give us that thumbs up or thumbs down, then we'll move on to the big system and release it to a larger demographic and larger region in North Carolina.
There you go, just another of North Carolina's 250 plus craft brewers right here in the heart of Moore County. It is the Southern Pines Brewing Company. For everybody at Southern Pines Brewing Company and your Listen to Work radio station, I'm Patrick Kelly. Till next time, cheers.